Speaking of Talladega, joining us on our Camping World Hotline is the chairman of the Talladega Superspeedway, and that is one Grant Lynch. Grant, how are you today?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm looking forward to this weekend. I know you are, because, of course, we both work. You certainly more so than I do. Do you get any sleep?
I start pretty early a lot of days. Hannah keeps me booked on shows early, in the mornings. I think I have a 5:15 live TV show Friday morning out there.
Wow. Have you ever stopped and thought how many interviews you do the week of Talladega?
No, I'm more curious about who the hell's watching TV at 5:30 in the morning.
Well, they're the people that are getting up hunting, and the only thing you can hunt this kind of time of year is feral pigs, isn't it?
Yeah, turkey season went out 1st of May, so it's about feral pigs is all there is.
Yeah,
I do pretty good. I'm an early riser, so I tend to go to bed early at night, and because I get up at 6 every morning anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not that much early to make 5:15 do.
I want to talk about all the events at Talladega and how much fun we all have out there and what a great weekend it is for the fans. But quickly, Grant, I was with you last week at Dreamland Barbecue with Elliott Sadler, and we got the announcement. I guess you were on your way over there that Junior was going to retire at the end of 2017. I don't think it was unexpected, but yet I was still surprised. Were you?
Well, I guess last year, everything he went through last year made us all think about it. But once he said he was coming back, it kind of went away for a while, but I think it's probably still in the back of his mind what he had to go through, and he's newly married and wants to start a family, and he made his decision, and you know what? You got to look at this two ways if you're an Earnhardt fan. You get two more chances to watch him at his best track, and one of them we know he's going to run in. It's this Sunday, and the weather's going to be perfect by Sunday. So, I mean, it's a great time for anybody that's listening. If you're in there and you're a Junior fan, yeah, you could go one way and say, well, heck with him. He quit. I ain't going to any more races. Well, why wouldn't you go see him one more time
Really?
at Talladega? He's got a better chance to win there than he's going to have anywhere he goes. So I think you ought to take the positive side and say he's my man. I'm going to stick with him. He showed me what he could do all these years at Talladega. I want to see him a couple more times. So that's where I'm going.
Grant, a lot of it has to do with social media and television and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of a tough question, but I'll ask it anyway. We saw the years where his father was so popular at Talladega. We saw the years where the Allisons and Neil Bonnet and the Alabama gang were so popular there, and then there's been Bill Elliott in the mid-'80s. Overall, though, with 14 straight favorite driver, most popular driver awards, and at Talladega, is he the most popular driver at Talladega?
Oh, yeah. I think without a doubt right now he'd have to be the most popular driver there. I mean, and I think many years his daddy would have won that many, but back in the old days, Bill Elliott had a fan club that knew how to stuff the boxes. And every year Bill would win the most popular driver, and Earnhardt outsold everybody 5-1 on souvenirs.
Yeah.
Dale Sr. did, so it's pretty easy to tell who the most popular driver is. It's the guy with 6 trailers versus everybody else's 1 or 2.
Dale Earnhardt Sr. still, I don't know how they divide it up or whatever. He still sells millions and millions of dollars worth of souvenirs and collectibles, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's still got stuff out there all the time, and I guess Teresa manages that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how they split that up.
Hey, Grant is our guest on our Camping World Hotline. Let's talk a little bit about the weekend. I urge fans that have never been to Talladega, and this is nothing against the Sunday races, but if they just want to get a taste, find out what it's all about, be absolutely overwhelmed, go Friday or Saturday. And I like the ARCA race, but Saturday's a great time to catch up with the Sparks Energy 300, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, both of those days are perfect days if you've never come, because the crowd's not as big as you can get in and out, and you can kind of see the place better when you're not so jammed with people. Obviously, by Sunday, it's going to get very crowded and everything, but, you know, we can take care of all kinds of folks, and you can bite off just as much as you want to chew, so to speak. And, you know, if you do want to come up for the weekend, don't forget all the free camping we've got, and you can go to our website, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, and kind of see everything we have. And then once you do that, you can call us at 877-GO-TO-DIGA and purchase your tickets or whatever.
Grant, how many acres do you have of campground?
I think we use about 1,200. We mow about 1,300, but we don't use it all anymore. And then we have an additional, I think, total of 2,700. So we got more that we don't use.
Don't you become like the largest camping ground on the planet for that one weekend?
I would guess so. I don't know who would have one bigger, acreage-wise. I mean, if you think about it, Daytona, I think, only owns something like 400 acres, and then they lease the track itself land. So, we just have so much more acreage than even Daytona has. Michigan's got right much acreage, but it's a big place. Let's put it that way.
And most all of it is free, right?
There's outside we have reserve camping and free camping, but we have probably more acres outside of free camping than we do reserve.
Now, but now over the years, I've watched it evolve. You've made it a lot easier for fans to get from campgrounds to the races, right?
Yeah, we have the new Talladega that we implemented last fall, and we put in tram routes that go out towards, the kind of flow out on the kind of satellite. We let people off way out by the campgrounds in different ways and everything. But the Talladega, you call them up, tell them what campsite you're in or where you are in the free camping. They'll come pick you up and take you over to the Fanatics, souvenir area, or take you to the Monster Energy display, and they'll take you right where you want to go, and you just pay them some money. A lot of people that used it loved it.
I wish I'd thought of it.
Yeah, the folks that, it costs, but, gosh, the problem with, even like our ADA service, and we tell people when they call us, you have to understand, you're moving around on 1,000 acres or more. And so it's not like just getting an ADA shuttle on a place that has 500 acres. Our rides are half a mile or more, maybe a mile from one place to the next. And by the time that thing gets back over here and the next person gets on and you're 10th in line, you're going, well, how long is this going to take? Well, it's as long where you're going.
Better than walking, especially after you've just watched Charlie Daniels play for a couple hours.
That's right.
Now, you got Charlie on Saturday. Talk about that. And, of course, Friday is something you brought back, I don't know how many years ago, but you brought back the real party and festive atmosphere at Talladega. And the big one on the boulevard is in just a couple of nights, right?
The big one's on Friday night, yeah, and we have a bunch of contests. The drivers get on a float. We bring it up Talladega Boulevard. That's somewhat restrictive on who gets to come. You have to be an infield customer, have an infield pass, or be one of our renewal customers that renews for that race in the time frame allotted. And those people get to come in for the Friday night kickoff party. Then everybody with a Sunday ticket gets to come in for the Saturday night Charlie Daniels concert. And then your ticket is for Sunday is get you in Saturday night. Is that's how you get in for Saturday night.
How'd you get Charlie? That's a pretty big act. Normally you've been really spot on getting young, upcoming acts. Like I remember a couple of years ago, you were smart enough to get Zach Brown right as they released the Toes in the Sand song. And, of course, they're Grammy Award winning every year now. But was Charlie difficult to get? Is he a NASCAR guy?
Yeah, I think he is. He's a Southern boy from the day one and everything. And, the best one we ever did was Ryan Crichton actually got Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
And the week they were playing at Talladega, their second song went to number one, and I think he got them for less than $10,000. and at the end of that week, they were $150,000.
Yeah, and now they're probably, they're
way above that.
Hey, let's get back to racing. What makes the 2.66 mile oval so special? Because Daytona's special, but it's just a little bit shorter. And I know it's a lot has to do with what you said. It's more than a race. It's Talladega. But on the track, what makes Talladega so cool?
I think it was built to be faster and bigger than Daytona. But what they did was they put 12 more feet of pavement in the turns. And the banking is 2 degrees steeper. And that just makes enough of a dynamics change that 4 wide at Talladega is easily doable. At Daytona, they've done it, but it's really, really, really tight. And probably can't happen for very long. But in our place, it's just a competitive racetrack, and the cars kind of stay together. Now, restrictor plates, kind of compounded that. In the old days, they got all their passes by slingshots. One guy would pass the other guy on one lap, and then he'd pass him another on the backstretch back there. And now, when we've had all the different races and all the different packages that NASCAR's had over the years, some of them are better than others. We were all sitting around last night actually talking, and we all think that Wicker package they had was probably the raciest package we ever had. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, sure I do.
Kind of wickers on top. They called them wickers on top of the car.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I mean those things could pass just about at will. They could pull out and pass and catch up to somebody and go around them, and then that guy could catch back up to him and go around them. I mean, I loved that package. But we had a few of those get up in the fence, and that kind of scares everybody. And
yeah.
When they got into the two-car push, I didn't like it. But gosh, those things were racy too once they got two cars together.
Grant, I think another really compelling part of Talladega is that you got a Dick Brooks that could win. Bobby Hillin Jr. got, I guess, his first and only win. You'll always have a favorite, like we're looking at Elliott in the 80s, and the guys that know their way around like Junior. But because of the nature of that track, it can smile on a first-time guy, and it has very often.
Yeah, I mean, David Reagan with David Gillian pushed him.
Yep.
Won. And I'm telling you, the next race, it may not have been the next race, but it was pretty soon after, when Austin got in the fence on the backstretch, Austin Dillon, David Reagan, David Gillian were exactly where they were when they won the race the year before. And undamaged, right in the same spot, one behind each other. And they were set up to try to do what they did the first time when they won.
I know you can't really favor since you got all the drivers right there, but it's hard to look around Penske right now, isn't it?
Oh, man. I mean, I read an article on J-Ski today by Brad, and he was saying that he said that at Talladega, throughout history, drivers have come up with something that the rest of them just weren't thinking about. And he claims he and Joey know it, and the others don't. Now, I'm not really sure what it is, but he's pretty methodical about how he talks and thinks, the way he talks and thinks. So there must be something they're doing that we need to watch a little closer to see what the heck it is if they try it again on Sunday.
He is right about the streaks because it seems like somebody will get it figured out. Richard Childress did several years ago. Hendrick and then Joe Gibbs for a while, and then you go back to Coors Melling with Elliott. But I think Dan and Ernie got up on.
Had it together when, I mean, if you got Michael Waltrip winning, you know something. And Michael struggled to win a lot of times, but boy, he was good at the restrictor plates there for a while when Junior won 4 in a row at our place.
And he will certainly be the crowd favorite on Sunday in the running of the Geico 500. Grant, I know it's your final interview of the day. Put your feet up, get you a little nap. I'll see you on Friday, okay?
Okay, thanks for having me on, Matt. Have a good show. Bye.
Okay, you bet. It's Grant Lynch, who is the chairman of the Talladega Superspeedway.